Hello lovelies, and welcome to my channel. Welcome back if you are returning. Now, what you see in front of me today on my desk is a spread that I've just pulled. I sat down just to do an ordinary day's tarot pull, and I'm getting back into using my tarot to kind of the same extent that I was using it before I took a bit of a break. And I suddenly thought, why aren't I filming this? Because in the last few videos I've made, I've had a few comments around the practicalities of tarot. People asking, I get that, but now what do you do with that, over a range of topics. And it got me thinking, are my videos useful? Am I actually stepping beyond just sharing and then showing you what I do with that idea or that practical application? So I thought I would start a Now What tarot series. Okay, but now what? What do we do? How do we practically then take that idea and make it useful? Now what? So the last video I did, I've just uploaded a walkthrough and a walking tarot review of this deck here with the William Morris backs. This is Shanna D's Little Bird Tarot, which I'm absolutely loving. So you can see I'm actually using this in real life. In that video I found a load of different tarot and oracle that pair beautifully with it. My favourite was this one here, the John Bauer Tarot, and I love that video. I'm going to do more walking tarot reviews for sure. But I thought, okay, so you've all got all of these lovely ideas that I've presented for lovely pairings, and then I thought, but now what? Now what? So you found some decks, some tarot or some oracle and tarot that match. Now what do you do with that? And I literally sat down to step into the now what. From that video I realised that I love these two decks. They have a kind of magical fairy tale vibe about them. I really loved them. And the now what is, let's use them together. And I thought I would show you how I use them in my actual practical tarot practice. So I hope this isn't going to get too personal, because this is actually a real tarot spread that I've pulled for myself. So I'm hoping that these cards don't get too personal. I don't actually quite know how I'm going to show you the now what without actually getting too personal, but we're going to give this a go. So now what? I've got two tarot that go together. What am I going to do with that now what? So I posed a tarot question for today's spread. So this isn't just a chat with the decks. This isn't a spread that I've found anywhere. This is trying to get answers to a question. Now, my question at the minute is about becoming unstuck. We're a third of the way through the year and I feel like I'm treading water. It's been an incredibly difficult year for me so far. There are big health concerns running in the background. I am trying to get my health back. Everything I do doesn't seem to be working, and I am absolutely fixated now on the fact that everything seems to be failing. I thought within that fixating on everything that's failing, I'm not doing myself any favours. I'm fixating on the problems, and that's like growing the problems. The rumination is not doing me any favours. So I thought this morning, okay, let's pull a spread to help me find a new way to focus on not the problems but the solutions. Let's see if I can change my way of thinking. So the first two cards, I shuffled both decks, got them ready to get jumpers because I like to take jumpers. This first starting position tends to be where I start with most of my tarot spreads. I ask, okay, so where am I at now? Tell me where exactly I'm at. And I just pulled two cards. They're going to work together. This is my starting point. So let's see. Oh my gosh. Ace of Swords, and we're in the realm of thought. Okay, and the 2, which is the High Priestess. So the High Priestess is about following your gut instinct, about holding truth, holding secrets. It's all in your intuition. This is immediately a call to the fact that you know your truth, you know the truth, you can feel it in your gut. And the Ace of Swords is about grabbing the sword of clear thinking. Because this is a new deck to me, I am going to go to this amazing guidebook for the Ace of Swords. Potential. So the key word is potential here. So you're trying to think about your potential rather than your failings. And it says the distinct dark blue and black hues of the stellar jays designed to blend into the shadows of the mountainous forest, pine, spruce and fir trees. The way they raise and lower the pointed crest on their head conveys different moods, reflecting a remarkable ability to communicate. Drawing the Ace of Swords is beckoning to cut through any confusion with a sharp mind, urging you to seek truth in every situation. Recognise that facing challenges directly requires courage. Expressing yourself with clarity and assertion will break through the mental clutter. Embracing a fresh perspective and making room for new ideas and mental clarity, I can't even make this up, is a personal call to growth and understanding. And then it talks about the fact that the acorn holds the potential for resilient growth into the oak tree. Oh my God, is this show about resilient growth or not? And at the minute, I'm just fixated on the fact there's no growth. I'm still the acorn. There's no shoots of the oak tree at all. But this is asking me to change my perspective, that the growth of the oak tree will come, to trust that, to follow my gut. Oh my gosh, that is absolutely amazing for where I'm at. This is why I came to the tarot this morning. Now, underneath I pulled 3 kind of, well, how do I do that? Because I always think tarot should lead you into the practical. So I've got position 1, position 2, position 3. It's going to give me 3 things to focus on how do I do this? How do I get mental clarity? How do I test whether things are true or not? How do I change my way of thinking? So position 1, so I've got the world card. Oh, look at this immediately. Look at that synchronicity. So you've got the trees, the woodland in the background, you've got the pond, you've got the reflection. That is actually an amazing synchronicity there. This almost feels like the spiritual world now brought into the practical world. But of course the world card is heralding a step away from something that you were doing into a new cycle. So it's the heralding of a new cycle here. How do I do that? See the magician, it brings it very much into the same energetic field as the High Priestess. And the fact that this figure is all covered up and this figure is naked. A lot of my challenges and health concerns are to do with my weight gain, not hiding away anymore, stepping into the strength of who I am, magically knowing that I've got all the tools within me, literally stripping myself back bare and saying, right, new phase world, here I am. I've got all the tools I need to do this. And like bringing my spiritual world into it as well, stepping through the gateway, knowing that I've got the power to do it, using the spiritual tools, stepping away from this woman all covered up into a brand new woodland setting where I'm laid bare. So laying myself bare will help me to test the truth of things and not be caught in ruminations or other people's voices that help to push me to this hiding away, unhealthy habits place, this PTSD, like trauma responses that aren't helpful. Okay, so that's the first thing I can do to help. The second two cards. Okay, so we've got the Page of Swords. Again, the Page of Swords is all to do with that idea of like grabbing thoughts, grabbing ideas, that curiosity. But in this deck, which I haven't used at all, this deck yet, that this Page of Swords is very... He's backed up against the wall. He looks like there's somebody off this side of the card, like having a go. He's holding a violin. It feels like somebody's come in and shouted at him for wanting to learn music. And then we've got the Seven of Wands, which again is about your boundaries and holding firm in your boundaries. You've got all this, it's like bramble. You've got all the thorns on the bramble here. Also, look, the colours on these birds kind of mirror the colours in this card. So this is about creativity, working out what you want to do creatively, and then holding firm in that, not being dissuaded. So I am going to grab, where have I put it? There it is, the Little Bird Tarot book again. I am going to look at the Seven of Wands because that's one that I can't remember. Seven of Wands, like defend your boundaries. Standing watch from within the thorny blackberry bush reminds you to stand firm in your convictions and to protect your territory. Even in the face of opposition and challenges, you are being urged to assert your beliefs, your resilience and determination. Find that passion and drive to will yourself forward. Yeah, it's very much like the resilience to grow into the oak tree. You've got to just stand firm with my personal boundaries with myself and any opposition to what I'm doing. And then it talks about the blackberry bush is the essence of resilience, defence and determination. If you've ever been through a wild outcropping of thorn-laden blackberries, you know the pain navigating these bushes. So it isn't an easy, pain-free journey. Besides being incredibly invasive, they produce the sweetest late summer fruit. It takes patience and thick gloves to forage for what they offer. This is not a card of fast results. You must navigate and strategize to move forward. It's not likely that you'll come out unscathed, but like picking blackberries, you will be rewarded for the fruits of your labor. So I think this is a card that asks me to get clarification with the Ace of Swords about what I want, what I'm interested in pursuing, the thoughts I want, and then standing firm and being patient with myself to get there. So boundary work, spiritual magic work, stepping through the portal, boundary work to be really firm about what I want. Oh my gosh. And then like focusing on the Ten of Cups. Now it's been a challenging time for me. I've got my girls possibly ready to fly the nest. Look, 2 girls flying the nest next year. I've been tracking down colleges for Tilly. It's causing me a lot of mental anguish. But this is the Hanged Man. Look at it from a new perspective, and look, the Hanged Man in this card is a woman looking out. Oh my gosh, and is that Busby, or what? A curly haired, golden haired boy. And here, look, there's the mom looking out, but there's still one bird not taking flight while 2 take flight. Get a new perspective. I have always thought about this phase in my life that my world will be over, and it's not a good way of inducing you to work hard for personal growth when you feel your world is over. So to focus on my family and know that it isn't over. For a start, I'll still have my golden haired boy at home, and even when that phase is finished, my family life isn't over. I need to get a new perspective on that. So it's really giving me new thought patterns to look at, to view my magical world as a portal through to embracing a new forest landscape where I can grow new plants. It is asking me to think about the things I want to pursue and how to protect those, to put boundaries up and to stay strong and determined. And then my family life, to stop viewing it as over. Okay, so you can see this clarified where I'm at, and it's given me 3 very clear paths forward. Over here, there is, I've just put the deck face down. After I finish the final pull, I put the deck face down, and I'm now going to reveal the underlying energy of this whole reading. Right, so yeah, look, I'm in a battle at the moment, and it's a battle with myself. There's this sort of gnome figure in a forest, an icy forest. Again, look, we've got the forest in the background. We've had that 3 times now, but it's cold. It feels cold and barren and uninviting, and then all the wolves are coming in and attacking. There's conflict here, and I think the wolves are other people's voices in my head, and my own voices that are chiming in, all the voices that say, this is the end of everything, you're going to be on your own forever, you can't do this, there's no growth, this is never going to happen. All the things that are keeping me focused and ruminating and stuck. This is a really clear depiction of that. It's like, what, can you just stop? We need to melt the ice, and perhaps when this ice is melted, that's when the water forms. Oh my gosh, can you see the synchronicities there? You know, you're standing in a forest, but really what's going on in your head is you've let the ground freeze over with this ruminating. Just stop, strip back to truth, and let the water melt again. Scrying in a bowl of water for answers. I could bring that in as part of my magical tools that I'm using to help. And in fact, I do have a scrying bowl on my shelf for this very thing, which I've ignored. So I think this might literally be a call back to the spiritual tools that I'm ignoring at the minute. And then of course the 4 of Cups, that anxiety of not focusing on the good things that you've got, focusing on the dried up husks. Look at this, absolutely unaware of the lovely flowers behind, totally focused on what's going wrong. Isn't this a mirror of that again? Like, you're letting your thoughts go to what isn't working and what you haven't got. You're letting the ground ice over. So this is the underlying energy, the darker side of it. There really is a call to grab these thoughts and to demand that they become more truthful. Let the ice and the snow thaw. So you can see there, for the question that I posed, I've got some really practical tips there, and it's a really useful and helpful and practical way for me to move forward. The fact that these cards and these decks visually pulled me in, I think, is not just about aesthetics. There's magic there. It's given me a beautiful setting, this time a setting that really does have synchronicities, where I can imagine myself in my mind, in my mind's temple, standing facing down these issues and changing the perspective. I think gratitude as well needs to come into this to move me out of this place. So lots and lots of practical applications moving forward. Gratitude lists, keeping my glimmers going, writing lists of all the good things about the change that's happening, focusing on all the good I've done with my family and the new things moving forward, making new goals and thought patterns and creative endeavours to move forward, and then protecting them and knowing that I've got all the tools in front of me. So I hope that gave you an idea of So now what when you find two decks that work together? I think so now what is you just simply use them. You set up possible spreads like this where instead of one card you're pulling two cards, one from each deck for each position, that can work together. I think pulling two cards for each position from decks that match gives you a really lovely perspective on them, and like allowing two bottoms of the deck to speak as well, and allowing two cards to clarify exactly where you're at now and the problem that you might have to solve. So that's my now what for what do you do when you find two decks that look great together. Now what? I hope that was interesting and useful in any way. Let me know if you like this idea of now what videos for tarot. Thanks guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.